Please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is David Somaungo. I work with World Vision Australia as a country program manager, but at the same time I sit on the board of this organization of African communities.
Davis, you've just put together a very wonderful event tonight. Tell us a bit more about that.
This event is usually held annually. It's an opportunity to bring together Africans in Australia, at the same time bring together Australians who love Africans. So it's going to be a blend, and that actually opens up opportunities and also goes to what Victoria wants and Australians about being multicultural.
All right, and is this just to encourage multiculturalism, or there are other purposes for which you put this event together?
It encourages multiculturalism, but also it's an opportunity to open up for our youth to seek networks within the community so that they advance their career, and also within the community to get a network to get that social support that sometimes is missing with the way Australian structure is set up.
As part of the African Communities Foundation of Australia, what are some of the main issues that you guys have identified and you're working on?
We've got a number of issues within our communities. We can have sometimes the youth who have come when they're young and settling here is a problem, because the way we upbring youth in Africa is very different from the way we upbring youth here. So that brings a culture clash. At the same time, the laws here does not allow for how we treat the youth in Africa. So we are supposed to come together and say, how do we address this? I'll give an example of when we had a problem. The youth had a problem with the police. We had to intervene and sit with the police and say, look, in Africa, when youth come together, it's not a gang, it's just youth coming to sit together. So what we did with the Victoria Police is say, look, can you send your policemen in Africa to train them to know how we live, then come here and actually have them to be like liaison officers with the youth in Victoria. And that actually worked, so that we work better with the police in that way. So those are some of the small examples that our organization bring on the table for the good of Victorians and also for the good of Africans actually who are living in Victoria.
Okay, with your organization, you've been around for quite a while. What message have you got for Africans who may be interested to come and give you a hand in what you're doing?
I would love to invite all Africans in Victoria to join us, because when they're joining us, they're not helping us, they're helping themselves and helping community. This organization is not personal. It's for you Africans over there in Victoria. You should come and be part of this because it helps you. It helps the children, it helps the grandchildren, it helps you when you reach the time you're going to be on that nursing home. Definitely come join us because it helps all of us. And it's also good for us to have a multicultural living, fitting in the society that weave of Africans within Australian context is complete. Join us.
And how do people join?
We have a membership fee. We have a website that they can look at, and you can actually call through. We have an office. We have staff. Also, if you have an issue that you want us to address, feel free to visit our website and so then call in the staff. We shall be happy to help. It doesn't matter whether you're recently arrived immigrant or you've been here for a long time. We are here to serve Africans.
My name's Catherine Gore, and I'm the Program Manager of African Communities Foundation Australia.
All right, Catherine, how long have you been with the organisation for?
Just over 2 years now.
And how do you like the whole experience?
It's been amazing. I've had a lot of experience in lots of different contexts in this organisation, working with the board and volunteers, working with the staff and meeting lots of different clients from lots of different backgrounds, and being involved in lots of different kinds of projects, from offering casework support to different programs, the occasional yoga class, and lots of variety. I really enjoy that.
Looks like you're quite busy out there.
Yes, we do keep ourselves very busy.
All right, you're attending this event tonight. How's it going so far?
I've had a great time. I've had some nice food and listened to some speakers from different levels of government, which was really exciting to see the interest that tonight has generated, and had a bit of a dance. That's always good.
All right. What do you think about multiculturalism, the state and health of multiculturalism in Australia?
I think like any new concept, it's taking off, but it's got its challenges. I think there's some great progress that's been made in Australia. I think that there's many communities that are well integrated and working alongside other communities, but not losing what makes them special at the same time. I myself have a special story about multiculturalism because my husband's from South Sudan.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got what's his name?
Nyok.
And so how long have you been together with your husband?
We're having our first wedding anniversary in December this year.
Wow, that's good. All right. So you're still getting to know the Sudanese culture and putting yourself 100% into it.
I am, and I'm trying to learn his language, but you know, it's taking me some time.
Well, you get there. It does take a little while.
Really.
And all right. And what message have you got to first the African communities out there, and then the rest of the Australian community in terms of people coming together and living together in harmony?
For the African Australian communities, welcome to Australia. We love having you here, and we love everything that you bring to our community. And yeah, persevere through the good times and the bad, because like any new challenge, there's some hard things at first, but we'll all get there together. For the broader community, just to take note of the huge achievements that have been made by many African Australians and other people from around the world who've come here to Australia, and the richness that our cultural diversity brings to our society is really remarkable, and something that, you know, I've personally found enriching. Yes.
All right. Thanks very much for your time to Africa Meet Australia.
No worries. Thank you very much, Clyde.
My name is Pony Tongan.
Pony, we found you here at the event that has been put together by the ACFA, African Community Foundation of Australia. Tell us what you feel about that.
Oh, look, this is probably the third time that I'm coming for the event. I first came in 2009 when, you know, they were still starting up and there was still ICACOV back then. And so, look, I think it's a really great event, and it's a good thing for us to get together as Africans to actually.
Okay, and are you part of this organization?
I'm part of it by association, you know. So some of the members in the committees are very good friends of ours, and so we lend them our support. But as you know, we're all terribly busy, you know, trying to live as such. So we do associate and we do support them as best as we can.
Why do you think events of this type are important?
Oh, look, there's not that many Africans anyway in Victoria. And so it is important that when there's such an event that we come together, it's a one time that you actually get to meet your fellow Africans, not just from East Africa, but from the rest of the world. Like, you know, for the first time now, since 2009, I've just met a couple of South African guys that I met in 3 years ago. And we haven't seen each other for 3 years because we haven't had the opportunity to actually do so. So it is important, and it is fantastic to actually get to see each other.
What message have you got for Africans out there who may be either at the beginning, in the middle, or somewhere in their journey into Australia?
Everyone's journey is different, you know, but make it your own. We've got the opportunity to do so, and we've got each other to support. Look, it doesn't matter whether you don't know me. If you see me on the street, say hello. And yes, and I will say hello. Most definitely say hello. You know, and get to know each other. You know, don't ignore us or don't ignore each other. I've been here for 12 years, and if I had ignored so many people, then I probably wouldn't have had as many friends as I have today. So do not ignore each other. Work as hard as you can, and be happy.
And what message have you got to the rest of the Australian community there who may not know much about Africans and may have some apprehensions and difficulty in mingling with Africans?
Look, I don't think that they have the difficulty mingling with Africans. It's just take the step. Take the first step. You know, be the bigger person and take the first step. There's nothing to fear. You know, we're harmless. Totally harmless. And go to Africa. Immerse yourselves. I mean, we came to Australia, you know, amongst all the Australians. So it would be good if you can also go to Africa and see how we live.
My name is Matula, and originally I came from Kenya.
How long have you been in Australia for?
About 19 years.
It's quite a while.
It is a long while.
Pretty much an Aussie now.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. But I don't forget my roots either.
No, don't never forget. You've attended the event tonight. What's your feeling about it?
My feeling is that it can be better. We need to groom younger Africans to run the events, which we're not doing at the moment. So hopefully the management will look at that and think maybe we need to do that.
And is this? Do you attend this type of events regularly?
I'm one of the founders of the organization.
That used to be known as ACFA before.
That's correct. The first meetings, ACFA was formed in my house, and we spent long times at the house trying to get the constitution and getting staff. And yes.
So you're part of the founding fathers.
Yes. Yes.
How has ACFA or ACFA now been going? It's been a long journey, hasn't it?
It has been a long journey that is. It's also been a good success, because at the time when we formed ACFA, there were so many African organizations that couldn't last. Too much politics, couldn't account for monies, weren't answerable. So we formed ACFA to make a difference, to demonstrate that we can, as Africans, we can set up something to success.
And that has worked because you're one of the African organizations that are funded by the federal government, and that has been happening for quite a while.
Yep, it has. We're funded, ACFA, now ACFA is now funded to the tune of about $500,000. We've managed that money since that time to today, no problems, to demonstrate that we can do it.
Absolutely. And what message have you got to the African communities out there?
The fact still remains that we came here and fought for the rights that the rest of Africans are enjoying today. Many Africans don't know that the freedom they have there, somebody fought for it. But now we've got another problem, which is how do we get our children that are born here to understand that they need to achieve? And that's the fight we need to have. It's a talk we must talk.
It's communication we got to start having.
To start now to talk to our children that are born here to understand we've got a mission. We left where we left for reasons, and they need to continue to do something to better themselves.
What message have you got to the wider Australian community?
The Australian communities understand that the Africans are always, we intermarry, we integrate with them, we work with them. We've never been any different. We're not looking for support. We just want them to recognize that we're here just like them, to do what we need to do to survive, for the same thing they do to survive.
Very good messages. I wish we would have time to talk more, but possibly we could arrange next time. But thanks very much for your time.